going to all be about. I got to play Brian a couple of times. I played him in the divisional round, but I also played him week 17 to get into the playoffs. And I have a couple of ideas to beat Brian. I think the key really is to get guys into the backfield. As soon as you let Tariq Cohen just run the ball side to side and get to the edge of the defense, it's over. You got to be sending linebackers up the middle and just try to really just change up what the line of scrimmage looks like. Don't make it easy for him to make his reads and hope that somebody can make a play.
Yeah, 100%. The one thing that we know that Brian really won't do, or at least hasn't done up to this point, and this is when I played him, this is when I've watched him, is he very rarely takes deep shots. And it'll be interesting to see how Ryan plays with that. You know, Ryan really controls the passing game with his defense. It's very difficult to pass against him. He had the number one scoring defense in the league this year. And, you know, the one thing that I think will be interesting to watch here in this is Brian's screen game against a defense that plays a ton of deep zone. Ryan keeps everything underneath. He keeps everything inside. And Brian will be patient, and he'll drive the ball up the field using that screen game.
He definitely will. And he's added even more to that screen game just in the last few weeks. I know that there are new plays and little tricks that you can run off of those plays.
And here's the kickoff here. Looks like Hardman is going to wave it down. Excuse me. And so we'll see. Looks like we have Ryan's playbook here, and Ryan is looking to get the run game going right at the beginning here. No chance that he goes play action and takes a deep shot to start this thing, is there, Hank?
I don't think so. But, you know, with both of these teams, they have the option with the speed at receiver.
And you see those two X factors right in the middle of the defense there for the Texans. Who's that? Devin White, and who else does he have in there?
Oh, that's a good question. I was just looking it up. I don't think it's Levante David. Okay. I don't think he put them together. We'll see in a second. What I do know is that defensive line isn't all that stout, even though he does have those linebackers behind it.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a star there at it looks like he's going to use her the star. He's going to use her the right end. And,
first down.
RK goes to the screen pass there to his speedster. So he's going to get the ball to Mecole Hardman as often as he can. That's really his go-to guy. He's developed him over 2 seasons now. So if you're watching this would be the 2021 Super Bowl. So he's went all the way through 2020 and all the way through 2021 as Hardman has been his go-to guy. DK Metcalf's on the other side there. And Hawkins here is a guy he picks up in week 6. It looks like they're going to run a little stretch there, and they have the matchup inside here. Yep, they had the matchup there. Hawkins is a really fast kid. He actually replaced Dalvin Cook with Hawkins, and because he kind of saw what Brian was doing with Tariq. He saw what I was doing with Breida, and he said, "Hey, I want to get into this speed package in the backfield."
Mm-hmm. Javian Hawkins out of Louisville, by the way, he'll be eligible in the next draft.
Yeah, and that's one of those cases there, Hank, where you've got a bubble set up on the right side. He even had the matchup, but Brian's Texans were so far off the ball that he just said, well, I have a quick out for, 7 free yards. So he just took his free yards. And here we go. Wildcat. This has been a big play for RK. Let's see what happens. I don't like the defense here that the Texans are in, and they're going to get punished for it. There it is.
Yep. Just a huge running lane up the middle. Linebacker overcommitted. Saw that guy coming around the edge. Left a running lane up the middle for Javian Hawkins. Not something you want to do.
You got to be happy if you're RK here, right, with this drive.
Yep. You've seen that you can push Brian around just a little bit up front, and that should be the game plan.
I have watched Willie really kind of shut down this screen game against RK's Saints, and even in one possession, in the red zone, when Ryan was like on the 2 or the 3 late in the game to go up, he picked one of those bubble screens and took it back to the house. Jalen Ramsey did. So Ryan can throw those without looking sometimes. So we'll see if that gets him in trouble. And looks like Ryan had a screen set up here, got out of the screen, and looks like he might go to slants. And it looks like he's going to run that here. He's got a mismatch on the left side here. This will be a big one. Oh.
Ebucom with the play.
Yeah, Ebucom.
You're starting to see Ryan get just a little bit stagnant with what he's doing. A whole lot of RPOs. You're going to need to vary something here. I know Steve Sarkisian did this awesome talk that has been the talk of the Draft Pod group chat for the last like 3 weeks. And this is the type of stuff he talked about. You know what all the RPOs look like. Brian's, for the most part, seen them all now. How do you change it? How do you send somebody deep? How do you hit them where you don't expect it? And Ryan's giving it a run.
Yeah, I will say, on that pass or on that run in the last down, Ryan did move the tight end over. He did have a mismatch on that left side. The defensive end there just made an outstanding play and broke loose and made a tackle. But I thought the mismatch was there, at least in terms of numbers,
Yeah.
Here we go. 4th and 6. It doesn't look like Ryan's going to kick the field goal here. Oh, he is going to. From the 29. So that would make this thing. What is that? This thing's going to be. This
47?
is going to be a 46-yard field goal. And I think he nailed this. And he did. He got it. 46 yards. And it's good. First points on the board. Saints 3, Texans 0. What do we expect from the Texans here?
He's tough to stop. I mean, this is really going to be telling for the rest of the game what this running game looks like out of the gate. What I will say is that you just can't forget about Tariq Cohen. It's so easy to take a play off and think about something else, but that's when he gets you. I know in the divisional round, I had him 7 carries for 10 yards, thought I had him totally bottled up, and then he broke off a 40-yard touchdown. A couple possessions later, broke off a 75-yard touchdown, and all of a sudden you're looking at the stats, and he has 200 yards on the board. And there's a good tackle on the first play. Bobby Wagner getting in there, I believe.
Yeah, this is a great linebacking core. Bobby Wagner, defensive MVP of the league, 120 tackles, led the league in tackles. He had 5 interceptions. He had 2 touchdowns. He had 12 tackles for loss. He was just incredible. And if you watch him, Ryan actually doesn't user him. He lets Wagner do what he's going to do. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out here. And then he's got Patrick Queen, who's a 92 speed linebacker there in the middle. And Ryan's going to use her with Queen. Oh my God. And Brian goes deep. We did not expect that. First play of the game, second play of the game. Unbelievable. It proved my pregame analysis completely wrong, huh?
That was not what you expect for so many different reasons. I mean, first of all, Ryan comes out in that 3-3 nickel against a heavy package, and you think, okay, this is exactly what Brian's always looking for, is a chance to run against a light box. And what happens is he just burns him down the outside with Marquise Brown. That's a tough start for Ryan.
That was incredible. That was incredible. What a call. I didn't reckon. Was Ryan in a cover 3 there? I wasn't sure.
I thought he was.
Just got beat, huh?
I can't double check.
Man, we don't have replay. Would love to have replay here. Now Ryan has to score. And I'm sure he's telling himself he's mad he kicked that field goal, even though it was 4th and 6. He is quite the gambler.
Yeah. Still early, though. Still plenty of time. No pressure yet.
And hey, there you go. I mean, this is what Ryan has put together, an entire season of runs like that. If you
Yep.
play him, that's what he gets, and he just takes those patiently
Yeah.
until you pack the box and he can take a deep shot. And if you never pack the box, he'll just never take the deep shot. I like this matchup here. Look for Metcalf across the middle there.
Mm.
And looks like they're going to audible that, and he's going to switch back to a run. I liked that, they had those combo post routes and one deep safety in that cover 3. I actually like that matchup. I wouldn't have audibled out of that. You, Hank?
I wouldn't have audible out of it. I did think that there were some opportunities to pass the ball, and on second and short, I mean, if you want to push the ball deep, if you want to show that you have some sort of passing game that is a threat, that would have been the chance to flex those muscles.
It'll be interesting to see how conservative Ryan goes here with the Saints, because I know that he's made some mistakes down the stretch here in his season and is very conscious about those, and doesn't want to put himself in a situation where he loses the game for himself. Will that end up costing him because he doesn't take shots or because he doesn't throw a pass when he's rolling out? We saw him roll out a little earlier. It seemed like there was an open guy there, but he just kept it and took 3. So he seems to be playing a little conservative right now.
Yeah, and I would say that that's what caught up to him on the first drive, and just too many RPOs, too much ground game, too predictable. And Brian's good at this game. If you let him know what you're going to do, if Ryan's just going to be attacking him in the running game, attacking the edges with the, I guess, running the ball and with the jet sweeps, but then taking up the middle with Javian Hawkins, you just need a little bit more to your game if you're going to be winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. And there's a lot. There is a lot of time here, and you see there with Metcalf. Little quick pass, Ryan gets some yards there. So I mean, listen, I mean, both of these guys are going to move the ball. Mm-hmm. And right now we're just seeing Ryan do it a little more methodically with the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go. We got Ryan comes out here, 3 receivers, 1 running back, and looks like we might go jet here, and keeps it inside 10 yards, easy 10 yards.
Yeah.
And again, if you know,
that was one where I looked at it, the first play it called, the play action off of the jet sweep, and I thought somebody was going to be open deep, but he audibled to the run and it worked out for him.
The one thing he's doing here is he's spreading out that defense. And if you look there, it shows Brian called a cover 4 drop there. So he's defending the deep play. And Ryan's spreading out that D with those screen passes outside and a jet sweep. And then as soon as they spread out, he runs it inside there for an easy 10. So right now, this is just a mismatch game. And, what happens here, Hank, is that you get the defense spread out, and you take a fast guy like Hawkins, and if you just slam it up in there, like he just got 6 yards really quick right there, and you can do this all game if you get the matchups that you like on the line of scrimmage.
It puts some pressure on you in the red zone, though. And when you play like Brian does, a lot of your touchdowns are coming from 50 yards away. When you're Ryan and you're kind of grinding your way down the field, all of a sudden you get to the 15-yard line, the 10-yard line, and everything gets tighter. And as long as you can execute there, it's fine, but you're putting yourself in a lot of those situations.
I agree. Josh Allen's really played an impeccable game so far, but it's all been all short passes. I'm not sure if he's had an incompletion yet.
Yeah. I think I might be ahead of you.
Oh, and there's the touchdown. Yeah. Last Super Bowl, I was a little bit ahead of you. This time you're a little bit ahead of me. Touchdown Hawkins there. And I mean, Brian's looking to stop the pass there. And he's getting ran on right up the middle. And the one thing I'll say is that Ryan really runs the ball between the tackles as good as anybody in the league, maybe the best, better than anybody in the league. And so many of guys in the league take the ball outside. So this just might be a little bit of a shock for Brian's defense with the Texans.
And here comes Tariq Cohen again. See if he can get going a little bit. Obviously didn't need him much in the first drive because they hit the bomb to Marquise Brown. But, I mean, just judging based on the formation, looks like it's about time to get Tariq Cohen going.
They got a matchup on the right side here, around the outside. And that's where that speed comes in play. You see how fast they get to the perimeter there?
Yeah, exactly. And then that little juke on the edge. And this is what's so interesting because, I had success against Brian. I was the only one in the league to hold him under 100 yards. It was the fewest yards per carry in a game. Only game he didn't score a touchdown, and it got me into the playoffs. But what I did is I went really heavy and sent a bunch of guys in the backfield. What Ryan's doing is going a bit lighter and just trying to run with him on the other side of the line.
That's what I did when I played him. I did that. So this is a speed package that Ryan put in big nickel. I talked to Ryan before the game about this, and we shared a little notes. And what you saw there, you saw him put a speedy corner as the free safety in that package. He has two speedy linebackers already. Make sure that he had a safety in the nickel there that can tackle. But that big nickel there is a little speed package, and that shut down that outside run. Now we've got a 3rd and 8 here.
Rushing 2. Decision time here for Brian. It'd be dangerous to go for this one. Oh, but he's going back to the line.
Oh, just no huddle. Just run it right up the middle. I think if you're
and that's what you have to be thinking if you're Brian.
Yep. Look at this matchup on the right side. You just got to run it right up the right side right here. This is a 2-on. You have a 2-on-1. You have a 2-on-1. You have a 3-on-1, really. If the center can ISO the nose tackle.
And there's the timeout. I don't know what he's thinking taking that timeout and punting. He had what he was looking for there.
Oh, man. He got scared.
I think he did.
Shook. But
what happened was it was the outside runs that didn't work when Ryan's in that speed defense. You just got to test him up the middle. And I guess he hadn't really tested him up the middle. With
if that center can get the ISO block on the nose tackle, you have a right guard, a right tackle, and a fullback, and all he has is a defensive end. You had a 3-on-1 there. Maybe that inside linebacker is going to crash. The guard picks him up. I mean, to me, oh my God, that was a huge chunk.
Yep. Especially when you have a 3,000-yard rusher, the league MVP, and one of the top offensive lines in all of football. You have 3 down linemen on the other side. You've got a tight end in the backfield as a lead blocker. I'm not a huge proponent of going for it in that situation, but when you see that, you have to. What was he looking for if not that when he brought everybody back to the line of scrimmage?
I don't know. So now this is interesting. We've been watching the league play this defense a little bit, but that was a 3-3-5 wide, and it's a 3-3-5, except the outside linebackers are on the line as defensive ends. And they can drop back into coverage. They can blitz. There's a lot of combo stuff you can do there. The only negative about that setup is that you do have some smaller guys, especially if you're using DBs there, which a lot of guys in our league do. If you're using a safety, you might have a safety on the end of the line, which if he ends up getting engaged by an offensive tackle, it's over. And Hawkins there for 11-yard rip. I mean, he's running at will right now. Hank.
Yep. And these are the situations, what was that? 2:10 on the clock, needed 60 yards for the touchdown. you know that the defense is going to be sitting back just a little bit, especially in this situation where the Saints do have that lead. And what you're really trying to avoid is the touchdown. If I'm Brian, I'm conceding some of those runs. Now, if you give up 8 on the next play, 8 on the play after that, all of a sudden the clock and field position equation changes just a little bit. But I don't think that Brian's too upset to be giving that up. Might have wanted to hold that to 6 or 7 instead of 10, though.
Yeah. The big thing is that you can't let Ryan go up here by double digits going into halftime. It's going to be really tough. This game, and we've seen this in our league. I mean, you know, when I was playing Willie, who's one of the better players in our league, in the divisional round, I got down 7-0. That next drive, I broke that breeder run, and he strips me while I'm dancing into the end zone. He gets the ball back and goes and scores. It's 14-0, and it's game over. I'm down 2 possessions, and if they don't turn the ball over, these offenses are too potent to be down by 2 scores, you know?
Yep.
And that might be a problem here for Brian.
There's just nothing open.
He's got to just run it with Josh Allen there, and that's what he does. And he's going to take that one for so I think he gets a first down there. No, but he does
3 yards,
not. He only gets
stops
3
the
yards.
clock.
Yeah. 3 yards, stops the clock. So what's your approach here with 153? We've seen Ryan in the last Super Bowl, actually, in this position, and we'll see what he does here. But he didn't grind that clock. He ended up speeding up and got to the red zone too fast and then threw a pick. Do you remember that?
Yeah. You know, I'm not too worried about getting there too quick in this situation, especially going up against a running team. Trust your defense to go out there and get you a stop, or at least hold them to 3 points.
Okay,
the key
you just
is
want to
getting
get there.
7 out of this. Oh boy, what a catch! That was not what I expected to happen on that play.
I mean, if that was in real life, that would have been the greatest catch that Mecole Hardman has ever made. Potential. I mean, maybe there's like 1 or 2 that he's made that were equivalent ever.
Wow. But bailed him out, you know, and I was just about to say, if you're Brian in this situation, you have to cover the deep stuff. You just have to, even though Ryan
he's in a cover 4 drop on that. Did you
it.
see that? He was in a cover 4 drop.
Mm-hmm.
I do not like this set. That is this a 4-4 that Brian has loaded up right here? Yeah. Oh, great cut inside.
Yep.
He took it outside. Everybody went that way. He cuts it right back in with after the over pursuit. Beautiful run there, Hank.
Just a great run. And it's the same way he scored that last touchdown. You know, you have Javian Hawkins back there, one of the fastest running backs in the game. You've been beating him up whenever you want to go outside, picking up those 6, 7, 8-yard chunks. And then as soon as you get to the red zone, run outside, cut back inside, and it's just wide open for a second time. If you're Brian here, you have some decisions, though. And really, I think you have to be looking for points here. I think that you have to accept that the only way to do that is to throw the ball. And if you're Brian, I think that even though that isn't really what your team is all about, big return, though, that does change the equation. You got to take some chances here, I think. You got to start this off by pushing the ball downfield a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's got 101 with you know, a game-changing player that can get 20 whenever he needs it. He has 2 timeouts. There's no reason that he shouldn't, you know, go into halftime. And listen, he has the ball on the 37-yard line, 38-yard line. So he should score here. And he's got Wildcat here. He's got the setup that he wants, and this could be. There you go.
I don't love the play call. I don't love bringing it back to the line. I mean, you got to be getting 12 yards on these runs. And this one where he gets stopped at the line of scrimmage, you put yourself in a tough place.
And you're forced to use a timeout there. And here's the thing. Yeah. Well, yeah, you can't go back to the line of scrimmage in Wildcat because your running back is your quarterback and you can't audible.
Yep.
Oh, huge mistake by Brian there with the Texans.
Yep. Had to throw, and he's still going pretty heavy at 21 personnel on the field. Surprises me. And this is where Ryan is definitely right to go light. There's no reason to be fighting to stop him from picking up 8 yards.
Oh, and it looks like we're going to have, is this an illegal formation? Or was it
illegal formation, false start, something like that?
False start. Okay, yeah. They didn't announce the flag there. It looks like the tight end was shifting, so I'm not sure what happened there, but we've got a 2nd and 15 now. And Ryan's going to just spread it out. If you look, the inside's completely open there, but it doesn't matter because Brian really can't run the ball after exhausting that timeout.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did he get the foot down? He didn't get the foot down.
This defense is so nasty. Ryan's pass D. If you end up in a position like that where you have to pass, I would have almost rather had him just run inside and take a timeout from field goal range. Like I just don't think that there's a way you're going to pass on that. And Ryan, you see him going right now. He's going to the well. 3-3-5 cover 4 drop. He's going to spread everyone out.
Yep.
Here it is. Yep. He's doing it right now. And you're not going to pass against this.
Oh, and you can't advance the fumble under 2 minutes. Not that he would have picked it up anyway. I just getting a little too cute there. Getting a little too cute there, Brian. Wanted to pull the defender in. Thought maybe they could get J.D. Hawkins loose on the edge. I just don't think you can accept going down 17-7 into halftime the way that Brian did.
As critical as we were in the last Super Bowl against Ryan's clock management and play calling going into half, we have to be as critical in regards to Brian on the Texans here. That was just a bungled situation. That entire drive was an absolute disaster. And Ryan here has 2 timeouts. If he gets into field goal range and makes this 20-7 in some way, this is going to be, it's close to game over.
Yep. And what I'm doing here is I'm going 5 wide with a formation where I know that I have an audible to a little screen just in case I need to get out of it. There isn't any passing options.
There you go. And he goes
run,
3.
Though. That's a nice run.
Yeah, well, and he goes 3-3-5 wide, and there's 2 linebackers inside. And Ryan saw that on the film in our pregame meeting. Ryan saw that on the film. And he was ready to see 2 linebackers in the box, or 1 linebacker rather. That's what it is. It's 1 linebacker at the second level because those other guys are outside, and you just run that inside.
Yeah, and now Ryan is running this play I brought up earlier. Oh, and he hits on it for a touchdown.
My God.
That is huge. And that is the exact play early on. He audible to the run, picked up on the 2nd and 2, got the first down. And I said, if he had the jet sweep motion, I think there would have been something open deep. He didn't take it, ran the ball there, saved the play for right now, and it worked for him.
Masterful. Absolutely masterful. Just a beautiful Ryan has really just been masterful in this half. It's been really amazing. What a play call there.
That's what you needed. You needed at some point to hit on a couple of deep passes, and he's gotten them when he's needed them.
Here's what I want to see from the Texans. I want to see him run the ball. Don't get away from the run with the league MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not right now.
He's just in such a tough spot. He is getting the ball after halftime. Assuming nothing crazy
but when he gets that
here.
ball back, he needs to be running the ball. Stick with your guns. Stick with Tariq Cohen. Don't turn into this. Oh my gosh.
That could have been, that could have been awful. There's nothing really to say about that. We all saw what happened.
I think Ryan usered that too. I'm pretty sure that was a defensive end user with Brandon Graham there.
Yeah.
Brandon Graham and Joey Bosa defensive end.
5 seconds left in half. Yeah, just everywhere on these. Brian needs to get out of this half. 24/7. You say you want to see him run the ball out of halftime. He's getting short on the clock though. In my mind, it wouldn't be the worst idea to go for a quick score here.
Oh no, I don't because I don't think you beat Ryan's defense deep. I don't think you beat him deep. He's got Earl Thomas at nickel. He's got Chris Harris Jr. outside. He's got he's got a really quick kid that's like a 94 speed corner that he plays in some different areas. You watched him sub him in at nickel. He's got, who has he got at safety? I know he's got a big time safety. Obviously his linebackers are all speedy. To me, you run the ball and you just get on the board. 14-24 is not the end of the world. Maybe you get a turnover,
Yep. And the other thing is Tariq Cohen is just as likely to score on any given play as a bomb is, a deep shot.
Yeah.
And especially, I think, if Ryan's in this 3-3-5, there are going to be running lanes. And what Ryan is basically saying is, yeah, there's going to be running lanes, but we're going to run you down before you get 9.
Yep.
We'll see if that works.
On that last run, I didn't like how Brian's always looking to get outside. And that was a really great run by Tariq Cohen there. You see the league MVP for a reason. But I want to see Ryan. I want to see the Texans keep that ball inside a little more. Stop trying to get to the sideline. That's kind of what he did with me. These defenses are built to put everything back inside and to not get beat with speed. You're not going to beat them to the sideline and break a big run. Take as many yards. You've seen Hawkins do it this whole game. Just take up as many yards inside as he possibly can until you get him down. Tariq Cohen needs to be doing the same thing here.
And give yourself a lead blocker. If you put a fullback in the game against this 3-3-5, you're going to be winning if you run up the middle.
That's exactly right. A lot of people say, like, what's up with this 3-3-5? Why can't we run against it? And at the end of the day, you don't have the lead blockers that you need out there. And, but if you run power, if you run a power eye with 2 fullbacks here, you'll literally blow this defense open.
Yep. And the other thing is, it isn't just getting the fullback in the game and being able to follow the fullback up the middle. Once you do that once, as long as you're seeing these same matchups at 3-3-5 against a heavier offense, he knows he's not going to win if you do what you want to do. He's going to start overcommitting, and that's what's going to open things up outside.
You see Nick Bosa just you see Ryan User, the nose tackle there. Nick Bosa blows up the right side. This is like a mutt team that Ryan has, a Madden Ultimate team.
Yeah,
it's really stacked.
He's done a great job building that roster. I think when you look throughout the league, he has a team that really does what he wants it to do. He's totally just invested in speed. And for that reason, he was able to justify getting rid of Dalvin Cook for Javian Hawkins as Tariq Cohen picks up a nice little gain there. They're moving the ball pretty quickly.
Yeah, this is kind of just what I was saying. I wasn't saying necessarily run exclusively, but do what you do. Don't panic and take deep shots, and get on the board. And Brian's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have to go, unless he likes the setup here. I don't think you have to go no huddle, and so this is what we're talking about here. So you say bring in a fullback, and this is what I think we see people complain about is, hey, you got this 3-3-5. I should be able to run inside. Well, like if you are just using a single back and you're going to get to the second level in 1 second, well, there's a bunch of speedy linebackers and safeties at the second level. You're getting there faster than your O-line can even get there. You're outrunning your blockers even. Mm-hmm. So that's it. You can't run that kind of, speed setup against the 3-3-5. You do need something that's power that allows those lanes to set up.
And Brian, for example, all season he's lived and died by the outside run. He has Tariq Cohen, the 3,000-yard rusher. Of course he would. But these tight ends on the edge, they really don't do all that much when you're trying to get the ball at the middle. Now, if you're totally committed to getting around the edge, this is what you want this front to look like offensively. That's just not what the defense is giving you, though.
Single high here. And
decision time again.
Big hit there, and he drops that. Jimmy Graham, an old Jimmy Graham drops that after he really gets taken out there with a great hit. And I don't like the field goal call here.
I don't either. I mean,
I don't think
you can try to talk yourself into it. It's down to a 2-score game, but that means that you need to get stops the rest of the way. I think you needed 3 touchdowns to get back into this, and I think that you needed to just accept that at some point Ryan's going to get a field goal. At the same time, if he had gone for it, picked up another first down, got into the end zone, well, then all of a sudden we're looking at 30 seconds left at the end of this quarter. And so at least there is a little bit of time saved, and he got one of the 3 scores he needs out of the way, but it leaves him in a tougher spot than I think he would have liked.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of defense Brian employs here. If you're Ryan, I already know what he's thinking. He's going to run the ball and keep this a save. And you see him in Wildcat right now. And I think he has the advantage of that left side. It's going to be a left counter run. Oh, it was a power. He went to the power side. But Ryan's going to keep this ball in that guy's hands right there. Maybe you'll see him give it to Bell a little bit. But he's going to keep the ball on the ground. He's going to grind clock, and he's going to do his best to not turn it over. I guarantee you that's what Ryan's thinking right now, because he's been in situations like this. He was in a game about 3 weeks ago against Jarrell, one of the better passing teams in our league, where he blew a 3-score lead, and it was an overtime game. And I know he's not trying to do that again.
Javian Hawkins is off to the races.
Yep.
That's going to get right back to a 3-score game. Brian needs big plays now, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is that problem with this kind of offense that Brian employs. When you can control the game, you're in great shape. Mm-hmm. When you get down 31-10 halfway through the third quarter, you don't have game breakers outside of the running back position that can go and score immediately,
Yep.
But most importantly, he just hasn't had an answer on defense. Ryan just exploited his defense today, which has actually been, hasn't been a bad defense all year. Brian has been a fantastic player on defense, even held me to 24. I averaged over 40 a game, the highest scoring offense in the league. And he was a big pain in the ass. I think I went into halftime of that game with 7 points. So he's no slouch. And you've obviously played him twice this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he's very good. And we talked a little bit about Ryan's roster building and just how well balanced he is. All the, just speed everywhere. He knows what he wants to do. And for that reason, he was able to move on from Dalvin Cook, one of the better running backs in the game, bring in Javian Hawkins, a much cheaper option, and use those assets to really build things up across the roster.
Yeah.
You look at Brian, that defensive line is going to get pushed around by this offensive line.
Yeah.
The linebackers are going to need to compensate for that. And he's going to need to be sending blitzes. He's going to need a little bit heavier personnel to compensate for it. And he didn't make that switch last drive, and it didn't work for him.
Yeah. And this is what you need. If you're Ryan here, he's at this point, it looks like you just have the feeling that if you're the Texans here, you almost feel smothered, right? You're like claustrophobic. There's nothing you can do. Mm-hmm. As a play caller, you're like, I know this feeling, and it's not comfortable.
Yeah. I mean, you're going up against Ryan's 3-3-5. And then this is the defense he's been building. This is what he's been working on. Are these 11 guys put on the field this particular way? And when you're down 21 points, being able to run the ball isn't worth all that much. It doesn't matter that he's going to be able to gash him up the middle for 7 yards a pop every time. He's going to have to throw the ball. And I don't think that there's, I don't know how he's going to find success doing that.
Yeah. Ryan runs this dollar defense really well. Also, those 2 linebackers in the inside, or linebacker safety combo. He's using, looks like 2 linebackers there. There's so much speed out there, and he's going to use Brandon Graham here outside. Let's see if he can get, he switches it. He's back to Graham. Let's see if he can get some pressure.
And just the most beautiful running look. And he takes it. Maybe got a little too cute there, but this is what's available. Yeah. I'm just not so sure it's enough. I mean, that sort of chunk is, but you got to do that repeatedly. And it looks like Brian might be trying.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, I still think you take those. Like, if you can get 20, you go and you get your 20,
Yeah. And at the very least, that does bring at least play action back into the picture. And you just add one more little thing to your options at this point, and that's really what's needed, because right now this offense, if it's going to win, it seems like it's going to have to be one-dimensional. Wow, really heavy here. And again, with two tight ends on one side, you're not achieving much with that.
And this is against a dime 1-4-6 look here. And now that you're not running the ball, I don't even know if you have the advantage here with all of the tight ends on the field.
Exactly.
If you're running power to that side, I could see. Although Bosa's over there, which is a huge pain in the ass. Now you're seeing Brian kind of take some of those inside running lanes now, finally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and just commit and just say, I'm just taking this in, whatever I get, 9, 12, whatever. I don't care. I'm not trying to go big. I'm trying to chew yards, you know, which that's kind of my approach with Breida. I just take it in. I take as many as I get. Sometimes you break them, sometimes you don't, you know, but just chew. Mm-hmm. I think this is a cover 2 look here. You have a guy in the flats right there ready to.
3rd and 1. You know, this is where I think Brian does have a little bit of flexibility. This is where I pull out that play action. See if you can get a lighter look. And this is a little bit lighter look. Run that play action. See if you can get something open behind, or take what he gives you. Can't complain about that.
Yeah. Yeah, take that. Try to get something on the board. Just try to get something on the board. Is this a cover 1? Uh-oh.
1st and 15 now.
Here.
1st and 15.
So I think you're seeing here. I think this is okay. This is just a cover or this is the cover 4 look here.
Big call. Finally goes deep. Runs just a simple 4 verticals with 2 tight ends on the field. Not really the matchups you're looking for, but he gets the pass interference. And now it's 1st and goal from the 2. Maybe he could crawl back into it here.
Yeah, we see Brian go into a 4-3 here. Haven't seen him break out that package this game.
And this is the first time running with the fullback wouldn't have worked. And he goes for it. And again, maybe he's still just a little bit too cute with the fullback. I feel like we've kind of been bashing Brian for the last hour.
Yeah, so. It's been tough. It's been a tough game for Brian too. Love Brian.
He is down 31-10.
Yeah. This is pretty much what we did to Ryan in the last Super Bowl, though.
True.
The Bengals really came out and smacked him around. I love that. Touchdown. I actually like that call. It starts inside. Defense is committed. You let Tariq get his speed out there.
So that drive, he took the ball with just over 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. That took about 3.5 minutes off the clock.
Yep.
You know, that is going to have to move more quickly if he's going to get back into this game. 2 more scoring drives, unless something crazy happens, unless he gets an interception here. And you know what? At one point when I was playing Brian in the divisional round, I thought I had him. I was up 14-7. It was just after half. I had the ball. I knew I was in control. I really could afford to make 1 or 2 mistakes and still be just fine. And right after halftime, threw a pick, maybe even a pick 6, and it just changes the whole game, brings him back to what he wants to do. You know, this is where the game is in Ryan's control, but it only is until he makes a mistake and puts it back in Brian's control.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to see him do that. In fact, if I'm Brian, listen, what do you have to lose? Commit to the run.
Yep.
Commit to the run, full go. You know, blitz guys, try to get, try to get a 3rd and long, where then you can put yourself a nice passing defense out there, maybe get a turnover. And this is not good.
He's gashing him with this Wildcat. Ryan's obviously found something that he thinks is working, and I would say the same. And
you have to commit as somebody who calls this same wild. No, you're right. As someone who calls this same Wildcat package to similar success, you know, not to show my cards, but the problem is that there usually isn't enough guys committed. The teams who stop it are running like full everybody committed inside of a full box, inside of an 8-man box, and you essentially get to that wildcat runner before he can get to the line of scrimmage. And a lot of teams are scared to do that, are scared to call that play because they don't want to get beat deep, But but there's a running back at quarterback, so it's like commit everybody, just commit.
If he does actually hit somebody 30 yards downfield wide open, like you just have to live with it.
Right.
Still, there are plenty of complaints that we could have with Brian's game. He's just not committing enough guys to the run. He's not putting enough guys in the box. He's going with too light of personnel. I mean, he should have a 3-4, a 4-3 out there, not 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and all these speedy guys. Even the guys he does have out there at linebacker. I mean, I'm not going to hate on. Is it Devin White that's his stud? Yeah.
And he's had a great season.
Yeah, you just need somebody with a little bit of size, somebody who can get in the backfield. It's just all a little too passive for my taste when he's playing the run.
Yeah, you see Le'Veon Bell there just kind of run through 2 or 3 arm tackles on his way to a 6-yard gain.
You need big guys who can bring him down.
Yeah, and I think that Brian has been playing these deep zones really all game so he doesn't get beat deep. And I actually like this package that Brian has on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. That was a good play call. I liked that. You could just tell when they lined up, and that was a 4-4 cover
people
1
there to stop them.
Yeah. 4-4 cover 1 on that last one there.
Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I don't, here's what I'll say. I do really like that 2 fullback package. I'm not sure that I love it with Ryan's personnel. Oh, this is a big call.
Was that a
Back
face
to the
mask?
31. Holding
on Dalton Reisner.
So
I think you accept it. Yep. Yeah, I agree. You push him back. Would you put him on a 3rd and 8 there or let him go 2nd and 18?
I think you got to push him back. You got to stop him from scoring. And right here, you need a big blitz.
Yep.
You need to get him from the 31 to the 35 here.
And he's backing up the linebackers. Why stop backing up your linebacker? Oh, there you go.
There's the blitz though. And
there's the blitz. At least there's the blitz.
Yep.
There's the blitz.
And he did knock him back to the 32.
That's a good call. Great call there, Brian and the Texans. Fantastic work.
Best decision of the day.
Yeah. I would have liked to see Brian take some more chances like that earlier in the game with his play call. And now you're in a defense. Now you could get that. See, I would have liked to see him go 3-3-5 cover 4 zone and try to get some pressure. Now, this is what I told you. The Ryan was not going to screw this up. And there you go. You've got 3rd and 20, and he runs the ball for 2 yards, Hank. Ryan is he's not going to screw this up.
And he's changing his kick returner. What are we doing here, Ryan? I'm curious. He's changing kickers? Why is he changing kickers?
I think he's going to put his punter in so that he can kick, so that he can kick it further. Or I don't know. Maybe I don't know because this is only a 45-yard field goal.
Yeah. And now it's going to be even shorter because Devin White.
And Brian's trying to get a field goal block here, which he should be. So he's trying to time it,
And the backup kicker puts it through. That's 34-17. And I mean, that has to ice it, right?
Yeah. That does it. Even if he scores quick here, let's say he scores before the 2-minute warning, it's still a 24-34 game. And Ryan, as we saw, isn't probably going to pass the ball again for the rest of the game.
And with no timeouts, you would need 2 onside kicks, 2 onside kicks or an onside kick and a fumble. And I don't think you're getting that. I don't think you're getting the 2 onside kicks either.
Yeah, Ryan, 2 minutes and 42 seconds away here from winning 2 out of the last 3 Super Bowls. This is his 3rd consecutive appearance, is appearing to kind of establish a dynasty here inside of the DNVR Madden League, as much as I hate to hear that as as a 15-1 number 1 seed going into the tournament this year. Yeah, and I guessed I don't even, you can't throw. Ryan's gonna just keep this cover 4 deep. So I guess he's gonna call it cover 3 sky right here and press the outside guys to slow them down, but you're not gonna get anything over the top probably.
Oh, and that could have been the game right there. I mean, the game has been over for a while, I guess.
Yeah. There's again, like and this is the thing is you're not going to pass. There's only, I've seen there's Willie passed a little bit against Ryan's defense. Gerald passed a little bit against Ryan defense. That's it. I don't think you're going to pass the ball on this D. It's really that good. Tariq Cohen his jukes are just incredible, aren't they?
They seriously are. Like I don't see anybody else in the game do those things. And maybe it's just because like I'm in the AFC, I miss a couple of AFC backs, something like that. But legitimately, those jukes look like a package that were created just for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had a big year with Breida, but he doesn't do that. He's a completely different style runner.
Yeah. And what really gets you, and we didn't get to see the best game from Tariq Cohen. Honestly, I think Ryan may have beaten my record for like yards per carry in a game. I don't think Tariq Cohen he did get some touchdowns. I'll still claim the best game against Tariq Cohen. But what really gets you when he gets going is, that's a good completion to Cohen up the sideline. But when he starts breaking tackles, when he starts running through guys and you think, I defended this perfectly, I got somebody on him, which is so tough to do. When he beats that's just so disheartening.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great little pass there to Tariq Cohen. That was against Ryan's big nickel speed package there. And we didn't see a lot of this in this game. We didn't see a lot of that screen game, and maybe that's why. I think I would have liked to see him try to use that a little more, though, against some of these lighter fronts that Ryan's put in front of him.
Yeah, and again, I started this off by saying that these are two very similar teams in the way they're constructed. Good offensive lines, good linebackers, very fast receivers and defensive backs, very fast running backs, obviously. And again, just risky passes. That's what we're at this point. But what worked for Ryan was the screen game early on, those RPOs, and it just got him into a little bit more of a rhythm, got him going in a way that Brian just could not do early on. And I wasn't high on Ryan's decisions. I thought he could have been more aggressive, but setting that baseline, showing that he could do something, it's turned out to be very valuable. And the other thing is, as somebody who's likely to play Brian again next year in the AFC, I am taking note of the fact that he just cannot push the ball downfield. And again, some of that is Ryan's defense, but so much of this is horizontal. And there's the pick when he tries. Troy Apke.
Who's been an incredible player for Ryan this season.
Yep.
He's been outstanding.
Well,
one of my favorite guys and I kind of pissed that
53 seconds on the clock. Ryan's got a 17-point lead. Brian doesn't have any timeouts. And it looks like Ryan has called the kneel. That's going to do it.
Yeah, that's going to do it. Ryan is going to win the Super Bowl here in the 2021 season on the DNVR Madden League. And this comes after a start that he wasn't so sure about, where he trades Deshaun Watson for Josh Allen. He trades for Bobby Wagner. He trades for Hawkins.
And
He trades for he trades for
Dalvin
Apke.
Cook.
He trades Dalvin Cook. So Apke, Wagner, Hawkins, Josh Allen, the entire nucleus of this championship was traded for in about week 5, week 6.
Pretty crazy.
Pretty impressive from RK there. Definitely deserves this one. Brian had an outstanding season. Great player in this league, great guy. And this was an absolutely, great season and a great win there for RK. You see, he's going to take home the Super Bowl trophy.
Wow. All that confetti.
Yeah.
Wow. That's what Ryan made himself look like. Also, I mean, to be fair, if you put a tinted visor on Matt Stafford, you don't deserve to win a Super Bowl.
I actually like it. I like it.
On Matt Stafford, though,
With
I don't know
one
that he pulls it off.
sleeve. With the one sleeve. He wanted Stafford to be a little more swaggy than he actually is in real life.
Huh. Maybe that's what's needed. Maybe that really is it. It isn't that he's not swaggy himself. He just doesn't have the accessories to bring it out.
Yeah. This was an exciting game, and I think that early on, once Ryan took that double-digit lead, and you could see the play calling kind of change. Brian got a little anxious there, and it got really tough. And there's DK Metcalf, who caught like 6 passes this year holding the Super Bowl trophy. Patrick Queen, there's a guy that really is huge for Ryan's defense. He's been incredible. That linebacking core is pretty phenomenal that Ryan has.
It definitely is. It's one of the best in the league. And it's the reason you win. And then it's the opposite of the way I built my team. I'm running
Josh Allen.
White
Josh Allen, 100% completion percentage. Hank,
does not hurt. Definitely doesn't hurt your chances of winning.
Well, there it is. RK, any lasting words before we get out of here?
Javian Hawkins won. It was Tariq Cohen, Javian Hawkins, the 2 little speed backs.
Yeah.
Javian Hawkins in the Super Bowl, 22 carries, 228 yards, 3 touchdowns. That man's a force to be reckoned with. And RK was right to trade Dalvin Cook, and I did not expect to be saying that.
Yeah. Trades paid off. Great season. 2 great teams. Ryan deserves this one. Big shout out to Timmy Samuelson here, commish on the league, set up this entire production. A really great community that we have in the DNVR league. Brian, one of the coolest people there, also on the commish team. This has been a fun season. Off season starts tomorrow. Off season starts today, technically, right? As soon as this thing's over. So we'll start getting into some trades. We'll start getting into free agency, and then the draft is next Saturday. And so I'm ready to build next year's team, man. Try to beat these guys. I actually beat one of these guys this year. I didn't play Ryan, so.
Yeah, me too. Also should say, tune into the tailgate. It starts in 20 minutes at the DNVR bar. So DNVR YouTube channel will be there.
Awesome. Well, that'll do it for the DNVR Madden League Super Bowl. This is the 2021 season. I'm Brandon Spano for Hank